The young and the restless spoilers shock. Gossip has it that as Tracy made her way back to Genoa City, her sister Ashley Abbott remained behind in Chicago, delayed by a mysterious business engagement. Rumor mills are spinning with questions. What urgent venture called Ashley away just as family tensions reached a fever pitch? Whispers suggest that a clandestine meeting with the enigmatic Aristotle Dumas may lie behind her unexpected detour. Could this shadowy figure, whose true motives remain shrouded in secrecy, be seeking an alliance with the Abbotts in his ongoing crusade against Victor Newman's empire? From the moment Tracy announced her return to celebrate Jabot's next big launch, viewers and insiders alike sensed that Ashley's absence was no mere scheduling conflict. Underneath the polished veneer of corporate strategy, there are whispers that Ashley stumbled upon information so explosive that she felt compelled to confront Jack face to face. Some speculate that her Chicago meeting revealed early intelligence on Victor's clandestine maneuvers to reassert his influence over Chancellor Media. If so, Ashley's unexpected knowledge of boardroom betrayals and planted operatives could be the catalyst that finally persuades Jack to reconsider his alliance with their longtime rival. Meanwhile, Dumas has been maneuvering his own pieces on the chessboard of Genoa City's power struggles. Having already made contact with Billy Abbott, possibly feigning interest in a friendly investment, he now eyes a more valuable prize, the trust and resources of the Abbott dynasty. By extending an olive branch to Ashley, whether personally or through an emissary, Dumas aims to exploit the old adage that the enemy of my enemy is my friend. In doing so, he hopes to cement a fragile coalition that could bring down Victor's sprawling business fortress. The real question is whether Jack and Ashley will recognize the advantage of such an alliance, or whether they will view Dumas's overture with the same suspicion they reserve for any newcomer claiming to hold the keys to Victor's plans. Jack, ever the skeptical strategist, is no stranger to Victor's clandestine tactics. He knows too well that his arch-rival has embedded spies within Jabot's own walls, only for those operatives to be exposed and expelled in a flurry of boardroom intrigue. Yet the possibility that Ashley has uncovered fresh evidence, perhaps detailed dossiers outlining Victor's next hostile takeover or financial backdoor deals, gives Jack pause. If Dumas truly possesses corroborating intelligence, then a partnership could shift the balance of power. The prospect of joining forces with a cunning outsider to outflank Victor's next move is tantalizing, even for someone who guards his family's legacy with a wary eye. As the plot thickens, Ashley prepares to return to Genoa City under a cloud of expectation. Insiders claim she will reveal the full scope of her Chicago rendezvous to Jack, exposing the intricacies of Victor's secret playbook. Whether she discloses that Dumas promised key evidence, or that she narrowly escaped a trap laid by a Newman operative, remains to be seen. What is certain is that her revelations will send shockwaves through the Abbott household and beyond, forcing Jack to decide whether to embrace an unlikely ally in Dumas, or to trust in his own well-honed instincts and keep the family circle closed. Should Jack and Ashley choose to entertain Dumas's alliance, the repercussions could be profound. An Abbott-Dumas partnership might unite two forces equally driven by retribution and ambition, pitting them against the iron will of Victor's empire. With Ashley's insider perspective and Jack's seasoned leadership, they could coordinate legal challenges, media exposes, and financial counterstrikes to undermine Newman's dominance. Yet to do so would require them to place their faith in a man whose history is largely unknown, and whose loyalties could prove as shifting as the shifting sands of Genoa City's business landscape. On the other hand, if the Abbotts reject Dumas's overtures, the consequences of turning away potentially game-changing intelligence may leave them vulnerable. Victor has a history of exploiting fractures among his adversaries, and a refusal to cooperate could hand him exactly the advantage he needs to rewrap another hostile takeover or launch a public relations blitz that leaves Jabot reeling. In that scenario, Dumas may retreat and pursue other alliances, and Ashley's hard-won information could be rendered useless if kept only within the walls of the Abbott boardroom. As corporate intrigue collides with familial loyalty, one thing is clear: the balance of power in Genoa City is once again in flux. Will Ashley's surprise revelation be the spark that ignites a formidable new alliance against Victor Newman? Or will the Abbotts, ever cautious and protective of their own, let the chance slip through their fingers and face the fallout of underestimating a cunning adversary? With Tracy's arrival already stirring old rivalries, and Ashley's return imminent, the stage is set for a showdown that could reshape the city's social and business hierarchy. In Genoa City, alliances are forged in whispers, betrayal is the currency of power. And the next move could change everything. Jack Abbott stands at a crossroads darker than any he has ever faced. Torn between his fierce desire to unseat Victor and a bond of friendship that runs deeper than boardroom rivalries. On one hand, the chance to join forces with Aristotle Dumas offers the tantalizing prospect of wresting control of Chancellor from under Victor's iron grip. A victory that would resound throughout Genoa City and vindicate every slight, every covert sabotage that Victor has ever inflicted on Jabot. The whispers in the corridors claim that Dumas possesses black and white proof of Victor's latest schemes, a treasure trove of financial records, clandestine memoranda, even affidavits from former Newman insiders willing to testify to corporate espionage. To Jack, this looks like the perfect weapon. A single coordinated strike that would leave Victor reeling and Chancellor free to blossom under new stewardship. And yet, nestled within Jack's heart is loyalty to Nikki. A friendship that predates every power struggle and every hostile takeover. He recalls late-night strategy sessions masked by laughter. Moments of vulnerability shared in corner offices and private wings of hospitals when the battle for their family's survival seemed as dire as any war. To betray Nikki's trust by leveraging information that could upend her husband's empire is to cross a line he has always refused to approach, no matter how personal the vendetta. Dumas, for his part, lays his cards on the table with a cool confidence born of knowing how much he holds in his hands. He has approached Jack through Billy, dangling the promise of total success in exchange for strategic counsel and Abbott resources, access to Jabot's legal team, introductions to key shareholders, and perhaps most crucially, a vote of confidence that would embolden other board members to side with a new coalition. His proposition is simple: pool our strengths. Once Victor is toppled, we divvy the spoils. Yet Dumas does not sugarcoat the bargain. He expects ruthless efficiency, the kind of unhesitating tactics that Jack has sometimes shied away from. This is not about evenly matched adversaries doing battle according to the unspoken codes of soap opera honor. It is a full-scale assault designed to leave no quarter for Victor or any of his loyalists. Jack knows that taking Dumas's hand means clearing the path for a man whose loyalties may shift as quickly as market trends, whose ultimate goal might be to eclipse both Newman and Abbott legacies once the dust settles. As Jack paces the marble floors of Jabot's grand lobby, the weight of his sister's revelations from Chicago still thrums in his mind. Victor has clandestine ties to offshore shell companies funneling money into media outlets that shape public opinion. And he has quietly acquired enough shares in Chancellor to trigger a proxy battle that could strip Jill Chancellor of her family's namesake enterprise. Armed with these truths, Jack could alone launch a lawsuit or a shareholder resolution that would expose Victor's machinations to the light of day, forcing regulators to intervene and rendering Victor's hold on Chancellor unsustainable. Yet such a solo maneuver carries its own risks. Legal battles drag on, courts can falter. And by the time the verdict arrives, Victor may have already consolidated power elsewhere. Aligning with Dumas offers speed and spectacle, a corporate coup carried out in the high-stakes theater of shareholder votes and press conferences, with Jack and Dumas standing shoulder to shoulder when Victor's world crumbles. Behind Jack's steely resolve, Nikki watches anxiously from the sidelines. She senses the storm gathering, knows that her friend is wrestling with choices that could redefine loyalties and reshape the future of two great dynasties. If Jack proceeds, their friendship may survive in name only, frozen beneath an unspoken ice that neither can melt. If he hesitates, Dumas's offer may vanish into the shadows. And Victor will exploit that window to tighten his stranglehold on Chancellor once more. The moral dilemma ripples through every thought Jack has shared with Nikki. She once cautioned him against letting vengeance cloud his better judgment. Warned that the thirst to destroy can consume even the noblest souls. Now, with the chandelier lights gleaming overhead and the legacy of both Abbott and Newman hanging in the balance, Jack must decide whether the promise of a swift victory justifies the betrayal of a friendship he has cherished longer than any boardroom flamboyance. In the end, the question remains: will Jack Abbott extend his hand to Aristotle Dumas, forging an alliance born of mutual distrust but united by a common enemy, or will he chart his own course, risking a protracted legal war to protect Nikki's trust and his own moral compass? Dumas waits in the wings, ready to strike when Jack's answer arrives. And in Genoa City, where every handshake can conceal a dagger, the next move could unleash a chain of events that will leave no life untouched.